Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Sage and welcome to the Executive Corner Expert Talks by 𝐊𝐴𝐿 TV. Today's guest is Ms. Melissa Hume, the founder of Career Guidance Now. And with the economic downturn caused by COVID-19, we've seen many people working in hospitality, arts and tourism even, having to retrain and find jobs that can be sustained during these trying times. In today's show, we'll learn more about Career Guidance Now, an online learning platform offering modules on CV structure, tips on how to succeed in job interviews, career building and more. And today's guest, we bring you Miss Melissa Hume, founder of Career Guidance Now. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
With your experience as an HR executive and author of Your HR Ally, Kickstart Your Human Resources Career book, we are keen to share your insights today. So, a hearty congratulations on winning the HR Excellence Awards of 2021, by the way. So, how has the human resources industry evolved in the past year?
Even in the last 18 months since the pandemic came about, there's been significant change for HR professionals in Australia. We've really had to become wellbeing champions and really become creative around how we support employee wellbeing, coming up with different programs which we may not have considered in the past. So it has been really challenging, and we've really had to focus on how to retain our key and our top performers in an organisation to make sure that we are setting up businesses to rebound after the pandemic. So it's been a real challenge.
Absolutely, I can imagine. And the job seekers rate has decreased significantly since 18 months ago, thank goodness. I think the July data had it close to about 4.6%. So you must be doing some incredible work then. My next question to you is about the key elements that are driving the hiring industry in the present day. I just suspect that some things are different. Your insights would be valuable about this sector. Which factors would you consider to be catalysts in your current industry?
Yeah, look, it's been, even the candidate behaviour has been very different since the pandemic. So people are a lot more reluctant to change employers. Before the pandemic, people would be seeking promotion opportunities, even if that meant longer hours and more stress. Now people really valuing their mental health and being really hesitant to change employers. And they are looking for employers who are very explicit and explicit in the way that they support employees' mental health. And they're really valuing that before they're taking the leap of faith and considering tendering their resignation and joining another employer. And I think the introduction of job seeker and the different government payments have really changed the way that candidates are behaving. There's been positive impacts with that, but it's also been really challenging from, say, an employer's perspective, because for an employee to just maintain those regular payments last year, all they had to do was demonstrate that they were making job-seeking efforts to gain employment. So what we're seeing on the flip side is that people were organising face-to-face interviews and not necessarily showing up for those interviews just to guarantee those payments. So overall, there's been a lot of different behaviours and different ways that people have been interacting in the job market. And it's also been people have really had to start thinking about how they can make themselves stand out if they are looking for a job and it is a genuine job search.
Exactly right. And I think it was an interesting question in the recent census survey that we had to answer if we were actively seeking jobs in the last week or if we had applied as well. So they really want to know what's going on out there. And the pandemic surely took away employment from millions of people worldwide. And we're still struggling to get out of this noose. As you told us before, people are just reluctant to leave their jobs, get promotions because they're not sure what the government stimulus is going to put into effect. And like JobKeeper had to see you in 12 months in a position before you were eligible and things like that. So I'm sure that has a great impact on job seekers' decisions at the moment. In such circumstances, how do you guide people to get into the job market again?
Well, it's all about thinking and even using similar techniques before the pandemic occurred, was thinking about your marketing materials. And when I say marketing materials, I'm talking about your CV, your cover letters, and how you go about branding yourself professionally. Because the reality is, I mean, recruitment consultants and hiring managers have limited time to screen and look through candidates' CVs. I think the average is recruiters spend an average of 6 seconds looking at a CV. So you have 6 seconds to make a really great impression. So you need to think about how your CV would land, making sure that it looks very professional and it's marketable. And then going another step is with the change in the job market and the way things are going with industries being significantly impacted, thinking about how you can go about upskilling yourself and making sure that you're not technically falling behind in the soft skills and the technical skills you would need in order to secure employment in the future. And then I guess the third option is to completely pivot. So to consider maybe a career change, particularly if your industry or the role that you're performing was deemed non-essential, or the job market is quite tough for the profession that you're skilled at. So you might want to consider a different career or a different type of job in the future.
Sounds great. And there has been some government backing in regards to apprenticeships and encouraging people to take on apprentices. So that's good to see. And in regards to your book, am I saying it correctly? HR Ally?
Yes, your
Yes.
HR ally. Yes.
Fantastic. So it's a recent book. It talks about the fundamentals of launching an HR career. And would you mind giving us the full title and your inspiration behind devising this book?
Yes, so your HR ally, kickstart your human resources career. I was really motivated to write this book because even when I was trying to start my career, there wasn't a Australian resource available for people looking to get into the profession. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions around what HR people actually do. We don't just hire and fire people. There's a lot more to it. So I wanted to make sure that that information is available for HR students, HR graduates, or even people looking to pivot and change careers. So that's the reason I wrote the book. And I wanted it to be very different to a textbook. I wanted to be very practical and have real life examples around what HR professionals do out there.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned being a well-being champion before for people to help them just guide this whole downturn that's going on, help them to work out what's going on within themselves and where they should be going in regards to their career journey. Now, that is a big role to play in someone's life. How do you find people are reacting by buying your book or seeing your online modules? Do you think it's actually having the impact or your desired impact?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and I've had this interaction even before my online modules became available. People that utilize my books or the online material, it really helps them quite practical. The advice is practical. Feedback has been positive. It really teaches them how to make sure that their online footprint is professional. They're building not just a personal brand, but also trying to network and build a reputation which they can safeguard, but also launch so that they can not just set themselves up for the next role, but also make sure that the choices they're making are long-term and would lead them to success.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's so many tricks of the trade and things you can only learn from trying stuff out. Like, not all the best jobs are advertised. So I guess being proactive is really important. So, Melissa, before we finish up, you also do some one-on-one coaching and mentoring. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved if they want to?
Yeah, absolutely. So if people would like a one-on-one coaching session with myself, all they'd have to do is look at my website, www.melissahume.com. And what I really do is sit down, work out what your career ambitions are, and try and build a long-term trajectory for your career and how I can best set you on that pathway for success, whether it's looking at getting you job ready, practicing interview techniques, redoing or revamping your CV, whatever it may be. I provide that face-to-face service to make sure it's tailored to you, and I can help you be successful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for making time for 𝐾ALKINE TV today, Melissa. We do really appreciate your insights on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Excellent. Enjoy your day. And if you've just joined us, we had a very interesting discussion with Ms. Melissa Hume, the founder of Career Guidance Now. And the full recorded interview will be available on the YouTube channel 𝐾ALKINE Media. So please keep watching 𝐾ALKINE TV for more of the latest market updates and expert talks. And as we say, stay apprised and invest wise with 𝐾ALKINE.